Hey, everybody. Welcome to SamiR, Seattle Sacred Music and Art. Thanks for being here. I'm Derek Mazzoni, and it's been a very interesting year, to say the least. This is going to be a recap of some performances that I thought really highlighted everything that I wanted SamiR to be about. When we started SamiR, which is Seattle Sacred Music and Art, the concept was to bring artists focusing on sacred and healing music to the Pacific Northwest, to Seattle. We don't get as many artists as we'd like here. We're in the far left of the United States, and often artists, especially artists from different parts of the world, they'll come to New York and they'll say, I've been to America. They've been to New York. They haven't been to America. So that was the concept. And COVID hit. So no shows, nothing. Started live streaming, started doing this weekly, and started bringing in artists through this channel from parts of the world that I didn't really expect to have an opportunity to talk to in this way, not for a while. But here we are now, and hopefully with the vaccine and the right mindset and the right government, we can bring a change. And the intention behind SamiR to have these artists play here, to have them play for students, to have them available for a little while and to play at different venues can happen. And so that transformative experience that can happen when an artist and an audience share a moment together can happen over and over again. I look forward to bringing that to you and sharing this for I and for John and everybody else involved in SamiR. Take care of yourselves. Have a good new year. Be gentle with yourselves and with others. Know that we're still in this. We're going through a lot. And keep it sacred. We're going to get through this.
You have to get in the mood, and the mood is a somber one in the beginning, and then it lifts up out of that.
They're sort of like emotional tenderizers, you know. And sometimes, especially in Ipiros, where this music is from, you'll hear before every festival a good hour and a half just instrumental music with no rhythm, just so that people get, you know, when they get together around the table. And right before, you know, they're socializing and they're hearing all this music, so they're emotionally are being prepared for the festival.
That's awesome. Are you eating during this, or is this
yes,
just...
Absolutely. You could be eating, you could be drinking, talking, and people are listening. They're just listening.
And it's just background. This is perfect. Yeah. That's exactly what we need right now. We need emotional tenderizing.
Exactly, don't we?
A lot of crying.
So it's an emotional music, and you know, this is I'm trying not to be stereotypical, but the Danes aren't known, you know, unless there's a soccer game or something, you know, there's like, you know, everybody loses their mind, but it's not like this music is like, I'm gonna feel right now, I'm gonna tell you a story, and you know, and it'll go back in the time, and it's like you gotta be there, like, you know, when you see people dance, it's like one of those, like, you're crying and laughing all at the same time kind of moment, and that's not known, you know. I'm curious, like, your first show, it's like, we have a surprise for you, okay? But you know, but it seems to work, and there's something about it that connects people in an interesting way, and I've heard versions of this type of musical effect as emotional tenderizing, and like the Donya is like, has that, like, you know, it's a start, you're gonna go later, but you can't just go like like at a techno club where it's like you come in, it's like boom, boom, boom. It's like no, we're going to take you. We're gonna like on this journey and take you there.
The story behind the doina is that one of the shepherds is sitting on a hill and he's watching all his sheep. He's playing his flute, and then one of the sheep runs away, and then he goes out to get it, and after some time he finds it and bring it back home, right? So we wanted to do this kind of version, but with a more kind of like Nordic, sound to it. And it also have this kind of like, we wanted to say, yes, okay, we want to have the audience, we want to take you by the hand and draw them into us, right? Saying, come on, we'll get you, and we're gonna get you here safely.
Okay, so it's a journey.
It's a journey, of course.
Okay.
Does this music give me goosebumps? And that was from day one. And he is indeed, channeling some higher powers and some deep knowledge and some deep wisdom, which has made me a better person. Recording, sitting down with him, listening to these stories, and trying to interpret them for the rest of the world has definitely made me more knowledgeable and made me understand the value of spirituality a lot more. And that has been his purpose. So it has been what he talks about, what he sings about, what he lives by, and every breathing moment, I would say.
One of the things that really struck me about this that you guys continue to work to do is your relationship with the forest. So I know, being Polish, I know that there's like the relationship with the forest is so vital to the villages and to like, just like it's part of the soul. And you speak about the music that was made in the villages, and when we were in Poland, there was a scene like that. There are musicians that dig deep, really, into this old village tradition. You guys work on a really interesting way where it's almost like the music that's created in between just a small group of people, women specifically, who are who make everything happen, who are taking care of the children, who are feeding people, who are growing together and creating that wonderful sense of community. And I'm wondering, and I'm speculating here, I'm wondering if that relationship between the people in the forest and the people among themselves, is that something, is there like a circle there that is tied to your music?
For sure, for us, nature is very important, and you can find it in the traditional music a lot of connections with the nature sounds.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that was the first inspiration to create some individual character of the ornaments in the music. Of the looking for the voice, how it should sound, the song, the melody. It is connected with how the space looks like. It's a different sound in the mountains, in different sound in the valley, or where is the like deep forest.
Ele, 6 anos, qualquer criança no mundo hoje pega uma ferramenta dessa de comunicação.
So he's saying any kid like 6 years old anywhere in the world can get a tool like this, a cell phone.
Uh-huh.
Mostra lá pro tio. Tirou foto de vocês.
So he took a photo of us. So he's showing a photo that he took of
Até
us.
fazer um vídeo ele faz, edita tudo isso aqui, ele sabe.
Aí ele fica, so he edits everything in the phone, and he's like a master of the cell phone already.
Okay.
For managing media and communicating with the world.
Um instrumento muito moderno, comunica com o mundo todo, mas tem um prazo de validade.
So it's a fantastic instrument that communicates with the whole world, but it has a limit of an expiration date.
Okay.
Guilherme, toca qualquer coisa que você quiser. Isso aqui é uma ferramenta de comunicação.
So this is another type of another tool of communication.
Milenar.
Huh?
Uma ferramenta de comunicação milenar, antiquíssima.
So it's a millennial form of communication.
Ele aqui consegue se comunicar com vocês agora vivo.
So he is able to communicate exactly live with us.
Sendo que esse aqui é milenar, ele se comunica com os antepassados deles.
And with this, he can communicate with his ancestors before.
E isso aí com o futuro.
And with the future.
Isso aqui cai no chão, quebra. Puf. Esse
and the cell phone falls on the ground and breaks.
Mais de 100 anos.
But the drum lasts for 100 years.
Com folha de canela te abriu, com folha de canela te abriu incenso terreiro, incenso terreiro. Manuel, chama seu José, para começar a festa, que eu já tô de agonia. Chama Manuel, chama seu José, para começar, que eu já tô de agonia. E o coquete horrora, e também muito embolado. Eu seguro bem a rima que é pra não ficar atravessado. Quem vier é bem chegado, mas desce longe molhado. O meu coco é muito bom, digno de ser invejado. E o coco é de roda e também muito embolado.
This is the first interview and performance we've done since COVID for anyone. We
That's strange.
You know, for a lot of artists, it became a time of sort of, a lot of artists became incredibly desperate and just started overperforming every day, going live, and we became the opposite. I just completely became introverted, and I felt like the universe, it was a time for the universe just saying to each of us, go within.
We're in a transition time. This is one of those accelerants. During a plague, people stop doing shit. They're like, oh my God, it's a plague. And then you get a renaissance.
There has to be some kind of renaissance after this. This can't be the be all and end
No.
all. Because
No.
I am one of those people that I do believe in the benevolence of the universe, you know.
Bana ölümden beter geçti dost kervan. Deme beni, deme beni. Şu benim sevdiğim başta oturur. Bu güzelin derdi beni bitirir. Bu ayrılık bize zulüm getirir. Geçti dost kervan. Deme beni, deme beni.
We are always connected. Actually, we are always there, all together. But we have sometimes priorities, and we have many things also that we are busy with. So many things, and maybe during this confinement we could also re-evaluate the priorities, or I don't know. We are at rest somehow. We are resting. And everything is so, I don't know, it's like the water was so troubled with a lot of things, and suddenly it's more pure, and so we can really connect with, we can be more sensitive and feel the presence more. I don't know. Maybe we need also to because we're longing for some people and some friends who cannot that we cannot see and we cannot meet, and so they are present all the time. I work a lot on this presence.
قد تهت فيك يا ابنة النجم المنى قد تهت فيك يا ابنة النجم المنى يكفي الدنا منك النجوم تبعثروا سمراء ردي أسهما صوبتها سمراء ردي أسهما صوبتها لم يبقى في الأطلال إلا الأباء.
This is one of those times in history where it's not the time to suppress those. You know, it's a time to have people's voices be heard and to do the work on yourself and to listen to people, listen to yourself. It just feels like a very interesting historical time for that, and especially in a context as musicians, you are able to help people through that, not through lecture, but to actually this thing that happens with music where you suddenly take people someplace.
Nature also owns this music, and everything is part of the nature, you know. So not only green movement, also the pollution. For me, this is personal. It's also part of the nature, but nature is bigger than humans. It's not because I think that the human, we don't realize that we have really strong this anthropocentric view, you know, and we are not aware of this, and we're such a small, tiny, you know, dirt under the tongue, under the nails, you know, of the nature. So nature will find its balance, but we have to find a balance in the nature.